Okay, you guys, let me get situated. Okay. Welcome back to Carnivore Found Me, your dirty carnivore channel. So, as usual, I like to start my videos off by sharing all the things that carnivore healed me from. Welcome back to Carnivore Found Me, your dirty carnivore channel. So, you guys, I was online as usual, minding my business, being nosy, and I saw a video that was so shocking and surprising. Now, it was on, it was on Carnivore Squad's channel. So you all go over there and support them. Now, you know you learn something every day. So since I've been in this carnivore community, almost 2 years now, I've heard experts, expert carnivores, expert vegans, just so many people say there's no studies on the carnivore diet. And I just accepted that. So that's why I say a lot of times we just accept what we hear from someone, either because they look like they know the information, or they may be an expert, or they may be a doctor. And sometimes it's very important to kind of research stuff on your own. So I was surprising when I saw that there had been a research study back in 1920. Excuse me. So I wanted to find out more about this research study, And see, I'm not an expert on reading those research studies. I will read them, but a lot of times you need to be very, very familiar with how to read them and stuff. So, of course, I went to my old friend, ChatGPT, for the dumbed down version, right? So here's the scoop. Back in the 1920s, there was a Canadian Arctic explorer. His name was, Vilhjalmur. Let's call him Mr. V. Him and his buddy, Karsten Anderson, they decided to go full carnivore. Only meat. No fruit, no veggies, nothing. Of course, there's not going to be, they're in the Arctic. You don't expect anything green to be growing in the Arctic, right? So, I guess maybe they ate Arctic wolves. I don't know what they ate, but anyway, it was very interesting. So you might ask yourself, now why on earth would they want to do that? Well, it seems that they wanted to know if they could eat only meat for a very long time. They wanted to know, would they get sick? They wanted to know, would they get unalived or catch scary? Is it scary? No, it's scurvy. I've never heard of any carnivore catching scurvy yet. In fact, that's something I'd like to research as well. Anyway, nope. As they say, the experiment became one of the most talked about nutritional experiments on carnivore. And it's surprising that we'd never heard of it. I mean, I never heard of it. Have you heard of it? If so, go down there in the comments and let me know whether you've heard of it. Put a yes or no down there. Hey, and while you're down there, just like this video for me, okay? So they say that the doctors watched them very, very closely. I guess they were looking for them to cheat or something like that. And instead, they stayed totally healthy on this carnivore diet for over a year. Yeah. So you guys, I put together a video on, what do we call him, Dr. V, Mr. V? And let's look at this information. And I'd ask you to kind of share this information, because a lot of carnivores, we don't know about it. And I think it's important for people to know this information. So let's take a look at the video, you guys. Here we go.
Can you imagine surviving on a diet of only meat? It sounds crazy, right? Most of us are used to a balanced diet with fruits, vegetables, grains, and proteins. Well, that's exactly what Vilhjalmur Stefansson, a Canadian Arctic explorer, along with his colleague Karsten Anderson, observed in the early 20th century. It was a revelation that defied conventional wisdom. He lived among the Inuit people for years, and noticed something amazing. Their way of life was so different from what he had known. These hardy folks thrived on a diet almost entirely devoid of plant foods. They relied on the land and sea for their sustenance. They ate mostly meat, fish, and fat. Their meals were simple yet nourishing, and they were incredibly healthy. Their robust health was evident in their daily activities and longevity.
Stefansson was fascinated. He meticulously documented his observations and experiences. He knew this flew in the face of everything experts believed about nutrition at the time. The prevailing thought was that a balanced diet was essential for health. He himself even suffered health problems when he first adopted the Inuit diet. It was a challenging transition, but after adapting, he thrived. His health improved and he felt more energetic. This experience sparked a curiosity in him. He wanted to understand the science behind this phenomenon. Could a meat-based diet actually be healthy? This question drove him to further research and exploration. He was determined to find out. His journey was just beginning.
His observations challenged the accepted norms of the time. They were a direct contradiction to the established dietary guidelines. They forced people to question their assumptions about food. It sparked debates and discussions among scientists and nutritionists. What if everything we thought we knew about nutrition was wrong? This was a radical idea that needed thorough investigation.
Stefansson's time in the Arctic wasn't just an adventure. It was a revelation. It changed his perspective on diet and health. It opened the door to a radical new understanding of human nutrition. The harsh Arctic environment provided a unique laboratory for his studies. And it all started with a simple observation: you can live a long, healthy life eating mostly meat. This was a groundbreaking discovery that challenged the status quo. Vilhjalmur Stefansson was more than just an explorer. He was a visionary who saw beyond the icy landscapes. He was a keen observer of human life, always curious about the ways people adapted to their environments. During his time with the Inuit, he didn't just study their survival techniques or map the Arctic landscape. He sought to understand their way of life on a deeper level. He immersed himself in their culture, becoming one with the community. He lived among them, learning their language and customs and gaining their trust and respect. Stefansson paid close attention to their diet, which was unlike anything he had encountered before.
The Inuit living in the harsh Arctic environment had limited access to plant-based foods. The land was unforgiving and vegetation was scarce. Our traditional diet consisted mainly of animal products. We relied on what the land and sea provided. We hunted seals, walrus and other marine animals, caribou and fish from the icy waters. These provided us with protein, fat and essential nutrients necessary for survival in such a cold climate.
What struck Stefansson was the Inuits' robust health. Despite their harsh living conditions, they thrived. They were strong, resilient, and free from many of the diseases common in Western civilizations. This was no coincidence, but a testament to their lifestyle. Their diet, rich in nutrients from animal sources, played a crucial role in their well-being. It was a diet that defied conventional wisdom.
Our diet challenged the prevailing dietary beliefs of the time. It made scientists and nutritionists rethink their assumptions. The standard thinking was that a balanced diet required a significant amount of fruits, vegetables, and grains. This was considered essential for good health. But our diet proved that humans could thrive on a completely different dietary model, one that was tailored to our unique environment, one rich in animal protein and fat, providing all the necessary nutrients for a healthy life.
Intrigued by his observations, Stefansson returned from the Arctic determined to prove the viability of a meat-based diet. He had seen firsthand how the Inuit thrived on such a diet and was convinced it could work for others as well. He partnered with Dr. Eugene Floyd Dubois, a renowned metabolism expert, to conduct a groundbreaking experiment. Their goal was to scientifically validate the health benefits and potential risks of a diet consisting solely of meat. In 1928, at Bellevue Hospital in New York City, the now famous carnivore diet study was born. This study would challenge the prevailing dietary norms and potentially revolutionize nutritional science.
The study involved Stefanon himself and a fellow explorer, Karsten Anderson. Both were seasoned adventurers with extensive experience in harsh Arctic conditions. For 1 year, they consumed a strictly controlled diet consisting solely of meat. This rigorous regimen was designed to eliminate any variables that could affect the study's outcomes. This included various cuts of beef, ensuring they received a range of nutrients from different parts of the animal. Lamb, pork and poultry, along with organs and bone marrow. These diverse sources of meat were chosen to provide a comprehensive nutritional profile. Everything was carefully measured and documented. The meticulous record-keeping was crucial for the study's credibility and scientific rigor.
The scientific community was skeptical, to say the least. Many experts doubted the safety and sustainability of such a restrictive diet. Many believed the experiment was reckless and potentially dangerous. Critics argued that a diet lacking in fruits, vegetables, and fiber would inevitably lead to severe health problems. The prevailing wisdom was that a diet devoid of fruits, vegetables, and fiber would lead to severe health problems. Nutritional guidelines of the time emphasized the importance of a balanced diet rich in plant-based foods.
But Stefanon and Anderson were undeterred. They believed in their mission and were determined to see it through, no matter the skepticism they faced. They were confident in their experience and the Inuit model. The Inuit had thrived on a meat-based diet for generations, and Stefanon and Anderson were determined to prove its viability in a controlled scientific setting.
The Bellevue experiment was more than just a dietary study. It was a bold challenge to the established norms of nutritional science and a test of human adaptability. It was a bold challenge to the established norms of nutritional science. The study aimed to question and potentially redefine what constituted a healthy diet. It questioned the very foundation of what was considered a healthy and balanced diet. The results of this experiment had the potential to reshape dietary guidelines and influence future nutritional research. Let me repeat, the results of this experiment had the potential to reshape dietary guidelines and influence future nutritional research. And as the world watched, Stefanon and Anderson embarked on their year-long carnivore journey. Their determination and courage would pave the way for new understandings in the field of nutrition.
Surprising results, challenging conventional wisdom.
After a year of living exclusively on meat, Stefanon and Anderson emerged from the Bellevue experiment healthier than ever. Their overall health markers were excellent. They maintained a healthy weight, their blood pressure remained normal, and they experienced no digestive issues.
To the surprise of many, the predicted health calamities never materialized. In fact, both men reported feeling more energetic and mentally sharp. Anderson, who had previously struggled with his weight, even shed several pounds.
The study refuted the prevalent belief that a high-meat diet would lead to scurvy, constipation, and other health problems. These findings shocked the medical community.
The results challenged deeply ingrained beliefs about human nutritional needs. The study demonstrated that a well-formulated carnivore diet could, in fact, be nutritionally complete and support optimal health.
The Bellevue experiment wasn't just a scientific curiosity, it was a wake-up call. It forced the world to reconsider the long-held assumptions about meat consumption and its impact on human health.
The study was never shared with the world. Wow, that's very interesting, you guys. It seemed like the researchers did their thing. They touched on every aspect of the research study. That is truly interesting. You guys, I'm going to put the link in the description, so if you want to go and read the study for yourself, be more than welcome. And thank you for showing up here again. Like, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate you.